Hi guys, how are you? Today we are going to talk about TDI. They call it the Traders Dynamic Index. In other words, it's an indicator that we use on BTMM. It can be used on identifying the trend of the market. It can be used on entries. It can be used on seeing how long the market may go. It can be used on detecting generally the reversals. So this is the introduction of it. Then we are going to go much deeper as time goes on. Right. A TDI is very simple. If you have seen how an RSI looks like, an RSI has got, maybe per se we say has got maybe 2 levels or 3 levels. Some can have something like this, right? Depending on the values that you would want to work with. Now, when it comes to the TDI, we then say it's an advanced, rather dynamic way of presenting an RSI, because an RSI is very much limited. So a TDI then now gives you more room of doing a lot of things rather than what an RSI can do for you. So a TDI now, in drawing, it has got maybe say 2 levels on top, 1 in the middle, and 2 levels below. So if you've ever heard something like oversold, overbought, we are simply saying that if a pair is around this area, it has been oversold, meaning that the pair was going down and then it got to this area. It means it has been exhausted, oversold. That is what it entails. So that's when you find that maybe you can get a 19 there, you can get a 50 level there, then a 68 there, an 80 there, maybe a 0 there. So in other words, we are simply saying the levels, the 2 levels below are oversold and the 2 levels above are overbought, and the 50 in the middle is what we call the middle level. Now, what it entails is that if we are expecting entries of a pair, let's say we want to sell, entries of a pair are seen on this zone. If we want to sell, they are seen on that zone. Entries to buy are seen on this zone. So if you see your pair playing around this level, it simply means that it is what? Consolidating. So in other words, it means that we have something like this. So we are saying that this is where we expect selling, this is where we expect buying, this is where we expect consolidation. So even when we count levels, you will find that everywhere where there is a consolidation of levels, we are always at 50 level. But where we talk about peaks, HODs, high of the week, low of the week, we are talking of the extreme levels. Now, there are cases sometimes whereby you can find peaks, HODs somewhere around this zone. They are still on the overbought zone, because what determines a consolidation now is the following. what determines a consolidation is the following. On the TDI, we have what we call volatility bands. We have what we call volatility bands. Now, these volatility bands, they work more or less like boundaries. They work more or less like boundaries. So, if you see them wide open and on the extremes, we are expecting a downward movement. If you see them on this side, we're expecting an upward movement. But if you see them squeezed and on the 50 level, that's when we say we have a consolidation. That's when we say you have a consolidation. So the dealer can even decide to break up, then go down, or can decide to go down straight away. You get the point now. So your volatility bands will be shown by being squeezed. They will be shown by being squeezed. Then we have what we call a price line. We have what we call a price line. We have what we call a price line. A price line is the one that then now goes around the whole TDI. Goes around the whole TDI. Now, if this price line is at the extreme levels, it means that we are expecting a reversal. This is general rules that you should know about the TDI. But if they are in the mid level, we are saying that the pair is consolidating. So I'm just talking of these compounds separately. Now, if we are to join them, it will mean that we will have something more or less like this, something more or less like that, something more or less like that. Then we get our price line going in between the right. So meaning the green line is our price line, then the light blue are our volatility bands or the boundaries, and we've got our levels. One thing that you should know is that these volatility bands, every time when the price line gets out of them, it retraces back inside the volatility bands. The reason why it does that, it's because it does not want to break the rules but wants to be compound inside, because the moment it keeps on breaking out, it will reach the oversold or overbought extreme levels at a faster rate, and in that case it will mean that candles will be paying people big time. So they will have to find the most possible way of delaying the TDI. They will have to find a way to delay the TDI, and that will mean they will have to keep on drawing back the price line back inside the volatility bands. Now, we then have what we call the market baseline. The market baseline now, it goes in between something like this, the market baseline. So the market baseline now is more or less like the 50 level of our TDI. So the market baseline will sum up the price line and the other line that I did not include here because it's really of no much use, though sometimes we use it if you have heard of people talking about blood in water and so forth, but I don't use it, and there is a reason why. So I would like to adopt the way I deal with this TDI, so that at least when you work out, you get used